Hi, welcome to Jesus in Every Chapter. We're in Isaiah chapter 3. For behold, the Lord God of hosts is taking away from Jerusalem and Judah support and supply, all support of bread and all support of water. The Lord has taken his place to contend, and he stands to judge the peoples. Verse 13. And verse 24, instead of perfume there will be rottenness, and branding instead of beauty. Isaiah here is warning the people of Israel about their sinful state and the result of their sin. And he tells them that God is taking his place to judge the peoples. God is able to bring judgment upon even his own people. God is slow to anger, but also able to judge. He's slow to anger and rich in mercy, but will ultimately judge his people. And so how do we see Jesus in a passage like this? Well, Acts chapter 10 tells us that Jesus has been appointed to judge the living and the dead. Jesus will one day come back and will judge all things, and his judgment will be perfect and correct, which leaves us in a bit of trouble since we are not able to live up to God's standards. No one ever can do that. And so we know that Jesus is able to judge the peoples, and we are warned that this will happen. And so what ought we to do? What can we do? Well, not only is there an ultimate judgment, but Hebrews tells us that God also chastises those whom he treats as sons. He disciplines them. Isaiah hints at it here where he says, God will remove all your supply, even your bread and your water. God will even bring people to a point of utter dependence on him. Sometimes there are things we trust in which take us away from God. And God says, I'm able to judge and remove those things. And even the New Testament speaks like this. Jesus himself is able to judge. It says, judgment will begin in the house of God. Jesus is able to remove the things which cause us to wander from him. And actually that is a act of God's kindness that we brought back to him by him removing the things that we are trusting in. And Isaiah warns them that, if you continue to reject God in this way, your perfume will become rotten, and you'll, instead of beauty, you will have branding. All the things which you've trusted in will become more and more ugly to you and more rotten to you. But Jesus is the redeemer of these things. Isaiah 61, Isaiah later prophesies that it says that God will give us beauty instead of ashes. Jesus is the one who takes our rottenness and our brokenness and gives us beauty instead of the brokenness and the ashes. And so this is a great warning passage, and yet we still find Jesus in it. He's the one who judges all things. He's able to even chastise us. Perhaps you have experienced the discipline of God. Hebrews says it's not pleasant. No discipline at the time is pleasant, but later on it yields a harvest of righteousness. So perhaps if you're going through, maybe Jesus is even removing things from your life. That's okay. It's not pleasant. But know that he is still good. He is doing it for our best, and it will, if we submit to him and continue to pursue him, it will come out for our good. It will come out for beauty, not ashes. And so Jesus is the one who stands to judge, but also Jesus is the one who makes our brokenness glorious. He takes our sackcloth and our ashes, and he makes us beautiful again.